My thoughts and prediction on tonight's main event on HBO Championship Boxing between Yuriorkis El Ciclón de Guantánamo Gamboa versus Terence Bud Crawford. The fight's there in Crawford's backyard and hometown of Omaha, Nebraska. And as far as the tale of the tape and who these guys are, we're all pretty familiar with who they are, or should be. Gamboa is 33 years old, not getting any younger, obviously, and Crawford is 26 years old, so Crawford has the advantage there. This is the first title defense of the WBO lightweight belt that Crawford went to the UK to beat Ricky Burns for. So this will be his first defense. And so I think he has a little bit of pressure with it being his first defense and it also being in his hometown. And defending against a very dangerous guy like Yuriorkis Gamboa, who I think his career has only been plagued by inactivity and possibly bad business decisions ever since he opted out of the fight against Brandon Rios and had a contract dispute with Top Rank, and then thought he was going to sign with Mayweather Promotions and ended up signing with SMS Promotions, which is 50 Cent's company, and he hasn't done much ever since all of that happened. And he's been inactive for over a year since he beat Darlise Perez in Canada. And that's like the third week in a row that I've said, or third weekend in a row that I've said that a fighter has been inactive. A fighter of this caliber that has been inactive for over a year. The first one was Provodnikov. I said he was out of the ring for 8 months. And then last week, it was also Guerrero that was out of the ring for over a year. And now Gamboa, same story, out of the ring for over a year. And we'll see how much that affects his performance tonight. But style-wise, I think Gamboa needs to bank on his power and go to Terence Crawford's body. He has a lot to work with there. Go to Crawford's body. He's a tall, lanky dude, and I think Gamboa's best bet is to go to the body and then the head, and let off combinations. And definitely needs to not keep his hands low and drop his hands like he always does at one point or another during the fight, sometimes multiple times. And he also needs to not admire his own work, even if he lets off a good shot. He needs to not do what he normally does and admire his work. And he just has to know that he's a challenger, and this is a crossroads fight kind of for Gamboa, because he had all the potential in the world and it kind of dwindled down ever since, like I said, that whole Top Rank and Brandon Rios fight fallout. So it's Gamboa's fight to win, and I think he has a 40% chance of winning to Crawford's 60% chance of winning. As for Crawford, I think he just needs to use his jab. He's 3 inches taller than Gamboa and has a 5-inch reach advantage over Gamboa. So, it could be a fairly long night and a long boxing lesson for Gamboa if Crawford chooses to fight from the outside and use that jab and use that long reach and avoid exchanges. And it could possibly be a very boring fight based on their styles, but Gamboa is usually pretty active, and I think he just needs to go at Crawford if he really wants to win and have a defining win and change the course of his career. But if I have to make a prediction, and I think Crawford will stick to the basics and box Gamboa, then we should see Terence Crawford pull off a 12-round unanimous decision.